Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Let's talk about some uncivilized mutts. These clowns then found Nolan Wells' mother's job website and review bombed her. Yeah, fam, they giving her 1-star reviews with comments like, would not recommend her. Unfortunately, I'm looking for another medical provider. I don't feel Christine has my best interest at heart. I should be treated the same as her patients that share her skin color. I wouldn't trust her to care for anyone. I don't hate anyone that much to recommend her. Her oath is do no harm. Wow. So here's the deal, fam. These uncivilized mutts posted these reviews after Nolan was found dead, right? Christine hasn't worked since July 3rd. So you know they were not her patients. They have not had any professional contact with her whatsoever. They went to her page, or they found her company's page and gave her these negative reviews strictly out of spite. This is a grieving mother. She is the victim. Her son is the victim. And this is what they're doing. This is what these uncivilized mutts are doing. Instead of them going after the people who killed Nolan, are going after their family members who raised uncivilized mutts. They're going after the innocent kid who was killed, mother, grieving mother. This is why I have no respect for them. This is why I have no empathy for them whatsoever. This is why I say when you're dealing with them, family, you got to turn off whatever that is in you that make you compassionate, empathetic, whatever. You got to just cut off that humanity part of you. In fact, keep it on and do what you do for the sake of humanity, because these uncivilized mutts need to be brought to heel. We wonder how police officers can pull up on a recreation center where they got a call for a kid playing with a gun, which the caller said, I think it may be a fake gun. They didn't even test it. They just pulled up and opened fire within seconds. We wonder, people with a conscience wonder, how do you do something like that? They're uncivilized mutts, fam. You got to understand. They got that recessive gene in them that makes them look at not just black people like they're nothing, but they also turn on their own. See, when they are not in close proximity of black folks, all they do is tear each other up. All they do is murder and violate each other. I'm talking about the uncivilized mutts. I'm not talking about the decent white folks, because there are decent white people. I'm talking about the uncivilized mutts. This is what they do. And then they have the nerve to try to pretend that black folks are the poster child for criminal activity, when really they lead by far. This is what I wanted to say about this particular case, fam. I think this is extremely important. Everybody knows that Nolan is gone. But how many people lose their lives every day without dying? We could start with the uncivilized mutts who wake up angry every day. They wake up mad for no reason, and they have this misplaced anger for no reason whatsoever. We could talk about them, but I'm not going to waste my time on these uncivilized mutts because, frankly, I don't give a damn what happened to them. But let's talk about people like Christine Wonsley. Let's talk about Elmore Wonsley. Let's talk about Carmelo Anthony parents, right? You have people when they go through these high-profile cases, especially black people. Parents oftentimes lose their jobs. They don't just quit, they lose their jobs because the attention becomes too much for the employer. So the employer say, you know what, I got to save everybody else, I got to save myself. This is too much of a distraction. I got to let you go. I'm sorry, but I got to let you go. That was the case in Carmelo Anthony's situation. You know, they went up to this man's job, the uncivilized mutt, Lane. He went to Carmelo Anthony's father's job, Andrew Anthony, went to his job and harassed him. They had to let him go. And then they had to move out of their house. They couldn't stay there because they doxed them. So they was harassing them there. And then when the lie got out that they were living in a $900,000 house in a gated community, black folks went to try to pocket watch, which didn't make a lot of sense to me because you can't put a price on your protection, on your safety, on your family's safety. So my thing is, so what if they did live in a $900,000 house inside of a gated community? You got to pay for the best security that your money can buy. I think everybody would do that. Anybody in their right mind would do that. But that wasn't even the case. They wasn't even living in a $900,000 house, at least not a house that was owned by them or being rented by them. Christine Wonsley, to my knowledge, she actually stopped working because obviously she was grieving and she's going through this thing, trying to bury her son and trying to seek justice. So she's in no condition to try to go back to work. But now it looks like it may be a situation where she has no choice where she can go back to work because these uncivilized mutts are harassing her. Yeah. So they target your job and then they target your businesses. You got friends deleting their social media because they don't want to get dragged into it. You got communities that are divided now. The emotional and financial toll that these type of high-profile cases can have on an individual, can have on grieving family. I mean, it's immeasurable. So oftentimes you'll hear when people go through stuff like this, especially the loss of a child, they will say things like they feel dead inside. They don't want to live. A lot of times the blame game happens. And I don't know if that's the case in any one of these situations that I just mentioned, but oftentimes you have the blame game. You know, the mother is getting at the daddy because maybe the daddy didn't pick the son up when he was supposed to, or allowed him to go to a party or something like that. Or the father is upset with the mother because she allowed him to go to a party, or she allowed him to have certain kinds of friends and whatever, and he warned her. See what I'm saying, fam? All of this type of stuff happens in these high-profile cases when, you know, you have a situation where either a family member is a victim or suspected of committing a crime. And then when it comes to black folks, it don't matter what side you land on. The uncivilized mutts are not just coming for you. They coming for your family. They're coming for your innocent family members. They're coming for everybody. Anything you love, they coming for your jobs. They coming for your friends. They're coming for your business. They're gonna do anything they can to harm you because they're uncivilized. And they don't see you even as a real person. All they see is that you upset the status quo. You out here trying to put white folks in jail. Can't have that. You disturbing the peace. We like our niggas just like we like our niggas. We like our niggas obedient. Quiet and obedient. No matter what we do to them, they got to take it in silent. You out here kicking up dust. Ben Crump, Al Sharpton. You got to get on up out of here with that. So they gaslight you. And they try to say you're the problem because you're seeking justice. It's like when you call out corruption, when you call out racism, they try to turn it around and call you a racist for calling out the racism. Don't let them trick you out of your position because they can't get me with none of that. I know them too well. I studied them. I know them. I know these uncivilized much better than they know themselves. And one thing that I do know more than anything is that they're cowards. The only reason why a lot of them do what they do is because they think or they're banking on law enforcement covering for them. They're banking on law enforcement having their back, giving them a slap on the wrist if they're punished at all. Sometimes I hear people say, that's why you gotta take the law in your own hands. I wouldn't advocate that. But there are people that are saying it. Say that's the only way you're gonna get some justice. This is cold-blooded, fam. To target a grieving mother, an innocent woman who is experiencing, she's going through the worst time of her life, the loss of a child. And these uncivilized mutts don't give a damn about none of that. They want the uncivilized mutts who's responsible for killing her son to walk. It ain't gonna be that easy. If they do, it ain't gonna be that easy. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.